5 officers, as is obvious from the videotape, played different roles in the incident, but they were all cooperating with each other and assisting each other.
Shelby County District Attorney Steve Mulroy. Trouble at the Dallas Zoo. An enclosure slashed open, 2 monkeys gone, and it's not the first time.
Dallas police and zoo officials investigating a mysterious string of break-ins and animal escapes after employees found more animals missing early Monday. In response, the Dallas Zoo is now stepping up security and limiting access to some of the animal enclosures overnight.
ABC's Lionel Moise. Charges could be formally filed today in the deadly Rust movie set shooting. Prosecutors say actor Alec Baldwin and others caused the shooting death of cinematographer Helena Hutchins by failing to keep the set safe using live rounds and a prop gun. Baldwin has denied any wrongdoing. The Federal Reserve set to kick off its 2-day policy meeting today.
After the most aggressive year of interest rate hikes in decades, the Federal Reserve is expected to keep raising borrowing costs, but by a smaller amount. Analysts predict the Fed on Wednesday will announce a quarter-point interest rate hike after 7 rate increases in a row last year. There are signs the central bank's campaign to slow down spending in the economy is working as inflation cools. Still, the Fed has said lowering prices even more is its top priority. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News, Washington.
Tens of millions of Americans in 30 states on alert for cold, ice, and snow.
Some areas bracing for up to 3/4 of an inch of ice. Growing fears of power outages. The icy mix fueled by Arctic temps that brought blinding snow to Colorado. North of Denver, cars sideways on Interstate 25.
ABC's Maria Viral, you're listening to ABC News.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life. And it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Former President Trump now suing journalist Bob Woodward over the release of recordings of interviews he did with Trump for the book Rage. Trump is suing for $50 million, arguing the release violates his copyright. Still searching in Australia for a missing radioactive pellet that could cause some serious health problems.
Mining giant Rio Tinto apologizing after losing a tiny radioactive capsule that went missing as it was being transported and could cause skin damage to anyone coming into contact with it. The device is the size of a pea. Emergency workers are now scrambling to find it, searching an area that stretches for 870 miles. They are using radiation detectors and say the odds of finding it are pretty good. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News. At the foreign desk.
And in Hawaii, rock and roll of the worst kind for a homeowner.
A security camera inside captured sight and sound of a 5-foot diameter boulder crashing through a cinder block wall into the living room late Saturday night. Smashing through another wall before stopping in a bedroom. Narrowly missing the homeowner, Caroline Sasaki.
Basically, I'm in shock.
4 people were in the house. Nobody hurt. 2 smaller boulders rolled down a hill from a building project recently. The developer says they're not connected, and they strung cables as a barrier, but one snapped. Chuck Sievertson, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm Derek Dennis, ABC News.
Does that old tractor or lawnmower have more electrical tape or duct tape holding it together than you want to admit? Well, maybe it's time to see Phil Sheehan and his staff at NC Tractor for a new Massey Ferguson tractor or mower. Massey Ferguson is a company that's been around for over 175 years. That says a lot about a company. And paired with Phil Sheehan, who's been in business for over 25 years, that says a lot about Phil and his staff. Knowledgeable about their product, and they stand behind every sale. Massey Ferguson is the last tractor you'll ever need. NC Tractor, a dependable and reliable company that'll be there after the sale. NC Tractor on Railroad Avenue in Rutherford.
Areas of dense fog will gradually clear out by the afternoon. We're going to hang on to a thick cloud cover. We're also going to watch a small chance of a few passing showers, especially across our northern region. We will likely see a disturbance move through overnight into Wednesday morning. That's going to bring a good chance of rain. We do anticipate gradual clearing throughout the day on Wednesday. Highs will reach the low to mid 40s. And the mid-50s is going to be a chilly one. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Thank you very much, Peter. Good morning, everybody. It's 6 minutes after 7 o'clock on this terrific Tuesday morning, and this terrific Tuesday morning is overall with heavy fog this morning. As you go out and about, please be aware. It's thick, thick, thick wherever you might be traveling, and thicker in some places than others, so be aware of that. We're starting out at 48 degrees, mostly cloudy today with some scattered showers developing maybe today and tonight. Tonight is a 60% chance of precip with amounts less than 1/10 of an inch possible. Rain again on Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Right now, though, it is 48. It's cloudy and it is foggy on the outside. Please be aware of that and allow yourself a little extra time to travel wherever you're going because it is quite thick. You may run into it before you realize it, so be careful. 6 minutes after 7 o'clock, I'll have the death announcements coming up here in just a few moments because of the number of them. We're going to delay those until after the Bill O'Reilly morning update. Right now, though, I have these news stories. County Sheriff's Office responded to Old Waggy Road on Saturday in reference to a person attempting suicide. Forest City Police Lieutenant Brendan Rothrock said the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office was first on the scene, and when officers were speaking with the suspect, a shot rang out. They called for backup, and the police department and the sheriff's office arrested Philip Bradley Holler, who was at the home. Luckily, we had good officers who were able to talk him down without anyone getting hurt, Rothrock said. Keisha McDowell, who lives just a few houses down, said it's a close-knit community, and everyone, aside from those in the Holler home, has lived on the block for many years. She said Holler is the newest addition to their street. McDowell said when she heard the gunshot Saturday, she couldn't believe it. When that one hit, I said, that was a shot, and I didn't want to panic my daughter. I said, y'all just get down, without saying that sounded really close. McDowell said she didn't know what was happening at the Holler house, except that more and more vehicles were arriving as the night went on. She said it began with the local sheriff's office and police department, but bigger vehicles came, and there were constant movement for hours. That movement was because of what Holler told authorities after he was taken into custody. Once they got him, he mentioned that there were some improvised explosive devices on his property, Rothrock said. After Holler's confession, police obtained a warrant, and with the help of the NCSBI Explosive Ordnance Unit and ATF, officers searched the property. After several hours, sure enough, they found the explosives. McDowell said he seems crazy that all this happened on their street, especially with all the children that are around. She said this is a family neighborhood, a community. We don't have that, but they did make an arrest and discovered the explosives, and that happened right here in our county. Meanwhile, more pleasant news. Citizens will soon have another reason to visit the popular Kiwanis Park in Rutherfordton. Throughout April, a complete giant-sized chess set, complete with all the pieces, will be on display at the park. This is a joint project of the town of Rutherfordton and Keep Rutherford County Beautiful. Officials say its aim is to provide a full attraction, another reason to gather at the park, and also to raise funds for the Keep Rutherford County Beautiful program. Sponsorships are being sought to support the project. As of Thursday, there are still 18 chess pieces that are available to be sponsored. 15 pawns, that's $100 each, 2 knights, $150 each, and 1 king at $250. Rutherford Community Development Director Magnolia Long says the chess pieces will be around 40 inches tall and will be hand-built entirely out of material that can be recycled. The sponsors of each piece will be able to decorate their specific pieces. Bill O'Reilly Morning Update is coming up next right here on WCAB's Morning Wake Up Call. We're into hour number 2 now.
Bill O'Reilly here, and I'm warming up. Stand by for the O'Reilly Update Morning Edition. But first, many timeshare owners upset their yearly dues continue to increase. Lone Star Transfer is the only company you can trust guaranteeing the release of all liability to your timeshare in writing and in a specific time frame. They've helped more than 18,000 owners legally and permanently get out. So start off the new year right with a free no-obligation consultation, 855-551-7066 or LoneStarTransfer.com, LoneStarTransfer.com. On this Tuesday, I've been giving a lot of thought to the latest police crime in Memphis, Tennessee, and it's just inconceivable to me that 5 police officers would kill an unarmed man during a traffic stop. Rational thinkers have no explanation. A 29-year-old with no criminal record beaten to death by the cops. Now, the officers had to know the situation was spiraling out of control. They should have called for backup if they needed assistance detaining the man. How could they beat him like that, knowing what happened to the police officers in the death of George Floyd? So now 6 lives are ruined. The victim, who should be alive and living his life, and the 5 cops who will be incarcerated for decades. And for what? That's what I can't understand. The police had the man's car. They knew who he was. If need be, you let him flee and arrest him later. You don't beat him to death. Every sane person knows this. I'll analyze this terrible situation ongoing, but the key question is, what were the police officers thinking about? They had to know the man was getting severely hurt. Why didn't they stop? Now, the only way we're going to get answers to those questions is if the state of Tennessee does a thorough investigation. But that is the key thing. Why did they do this? Back in a moment. No question, there is a concerted effort to intimidate and silence conservative thinkers and replace our God-given individual liberty with big government controls. AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens, is the leading conservative advocacy and benefits organization in America. AMAC gives you access to exclusive benefits and all kinds of great content. Please stand with AMAC at amac.us. That's amac.us. That is the Morning O'Reilly Update. More analysis later on.
It's 13 minutes after 7 o'clock. I have these death announcements this morning. Susie Bostic Epley, age 69, of Bostic, died Sunday at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills in Forest City. The funeral service will be held 3 o'clock Wednesday, February the 1st at the Crestview Baptist Church. The family will receive friends following the service in the narthex of the church. Burial will follow the visitation at Rutherford County Memorial Cemetery. The Pageant A King Mortuary is in charge of the arrangements for Susie Bostic Epley. Newton Perry Roach Jr., age 79, passed away Thursday, January the 26th at Rutherford Hospital. A service to celebrate the life of Newton Perry Roach Jr. will be held at 2 o'clock this afternoon at Crow's Funeral Chapel. Burial will follow in the Shiloh Baptist Church Cemetery with military honors provided by the Rutherford County Veterans Honor Guard. The family will receive friends from 6 until 8. They received friends last night at Crow's Mortuary. For Newton Roach Jr. Lynn Shiloh Melton, 61, of the Chase community, died Friday, January the 27th. Services will be held this afternoon at Bethany Baptist Church at 2 o'clock. Receiving friends will be held in the church social hall after services are concluded. The Pageant A King Mortuary and Crematory is serving the family of Lynn Shiloh Melton. Grady Franklin Sr. passed away Friday, January the 27th at his home near Cliffside. He was 101 years young. A funeral will be held at 1 o'clock Wednesday, February 1st at First Presbyterian Church, West Main Street, Forest City. Visitation will be from 6 until 8 o'clock this evening in the Family Life Center at the church. Following the funeral, a burial ceremony will be held for the family at Cleveland Memorial Park in Boiling Springs. The Paget and King Mortuary and Crematory is in charge of the arrangements for Grady Franklin Sr. Laura Lee Cody Mills, age 85, died Sunday, January the 29th. A celebration of her life will be held 3 o'clock Wednesday, February the 1st at Crow's Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to the service. And Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Laura Lee Cody Mills. Barbara Bridges, age 80 of Forest City, passed away Tuesday, January 24th at Hospice of the Carolina Foothills. The family will receive friends from 4 until 6 Saturday, February the 4th at Harrelson Funeral Home for Barbara Bridges. Patricia Lee Bullis C., 47, passed away Friday, January the 20th. The celebration of life will be held on February the 5th from 2 until 5 at the family home located at 5895 Cox Road, Rutherfordton. Again, that's Patricia Lee Bullis C. Harley Brandon Upton, age 22 of Rutherfordton, passed away Wednesday, January 25th. A graveside burial will be conducted at 2 o'clock Saturday, February the 11th at Cooper's Gap Baptist Church Cemetery. Harrelson Funeral Home, serving the family of Harley Brandon Upton. Francis Hemrick Waters, 91 of Forest City, passed away January 4th at Willow Ridge after a long and brave battle with Alzheimer's disease. Memorial services will be announced later at a later date. Crow's Mortuary is assisting the family of Francis Hemrick Waters. Lisa Ledbetter, age 56 of Rutherfordton, passed away Sunday, January 29th at her residence. The funeral service will be conducted at 7 o'clock Thursday, February 2nd at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral Home, serving the family of Lisa Ledbetter. Betty Sue Davis, 81 of Union Mills, passed away Friday, January 27th at her home, surrounded by her family. A funeral service will be held Wednesday, February 1st at 3 o'clock in the Chapel of Beam Funeral Service. The family will receive friends from 2 until 3 o'clock. Again, that's Betty Sue Davis of Union Mills. Virginia Hudgens Hemphill, 95 of Forest City, died Sunday, January the 29th at her home. Funeral services will be held 2 p.m. Friday, February 3rd in the Paget and King Chapel. The family will receive friends following the service Friday at Paget and King. Burial will be private. The Paget and King Mortuary is serving the family of Virginia Hudgens Hemphill. Robert Kenneth Cook, 80 of Rutherfordton, died Monday, January 30th. The funeral will be conducted at 2 o'clock Wednesday, February 1st at Cane Creek Baptist Church. The visitation will be this evening from 5 until 7 at Washburn and Dorsey Funeral Home. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Services, serving the family of Reverend Kenneth Cook. Bobby Davis, age 86 of Forest City, passed away Sunday, January 29th at his residence. A memorial service will be conducted at 3 o'clock Wednesday, February 1st at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. Military honors will be presented by the Rutherford County Honor Guard. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral Home, serving the family of Bobby Davis. Harley Brandon Upton, age 22 of Rutherfordton, passed away Wednesday, January the 25th. A graveside burial will be conducted at 2 o'clock Saturday, February the 11th at Cooper's Gap Baptist Church. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services entrusted with those arrangements for Harley Brandon Upton. Lisa Ledbetter, age 56 of Rutherfordton, passed away Sunday, January 29th at her residence. The funeral service will be conducted at 7 o'clock Thursday, February the 2nd at the Harrelson Funeral Chapel. The family will receive friends 1 hour prior to service time at the funeral home. Harrelson Funeral and Cremation Services has been entrusted with the arrangement for Lisa Ledbetter. of Rutherfordton. Those are the death announcements we have in-house this morning. For complete information on these and others as they become available to us, can be heard this morning at 11:30 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon Call Around the County newscast. It's now 20 minutes after 7.
Wherever Mickey Free went, death seemed to follow, even when he was a kid. On January 27, 1861, at the age of 12, Apache Indians kidnapped Mickey. A Lieutenant Bascom led a command to find him. Lieutenant Bascom came across Cochise and some of his braves. Although Cochise knew nothing about the kidnapping, Lieutenant Bascom accused Cochise of stealing Mickey. A fight ensued and some of Cochise's braves were shot. Cochise went on a warpath, and in 60 days he and his braves killed 150 whites. Later, Mickey gained his freedom. Although Mickey's real name was Felix Martinez, when he returned, he started using the name Mickey Free. Some say Mickey came from the fact his father was Irish. His last name Free came as a result of being free from captivity. Mickey has been described as having long, unkept, fiery red hair and a red mustache. He only had one eye. It was said he had a mug that looked like a map of Ireland, a nice way of saying that he was really ugly. Mickey worked as an Army scout in the Apache campaign. The Apaches didn't like him, and the feeling was mutual. He would spread rumors about the Apache, and when the Army used him as an interpreter, his translating was to the detriment of the Indians. One time, Mickey was sent to capture an Apache. He tracked him for 300 miles. After Mickey killed the Apache, realizing the body was too heavy to carry, he carved off the Indian's face as proof of the kill. Mickey had only one friend, Chief of Scouts Al Cyber. Even he said of Mickey, he's half Mexican, half Irish, and whole SOB. You've just heard another story from Old West Radio. I'm Dakota Livesay.
Jesse James Railroad Express has moved to a new location, 126 Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton, and they've changed their name, Jesse James Chowhound Canteen. A new name, a new place, and a limited menu. Currently, you can get smoked sausages, kielbasa's, and of course those delicious hot dogs. And you can get coleslaw, macaroni and cheese, and potato salad. Stay tuned for their new menu at their new place. Hours are Tuesday through Saturdays from 11 until 2, closed Sundays and Mondays. Jesse James Chowhound Canteen, 126 Park Lane Plaza in Rutherfordton. Call 286-9368 and get a 99-cent hot dog with mustard, chili, and onions, Tuesdays only.
All right, it's time to get started now with calls around the county to find out what's been going on. And I don't know anybody better to tell us than Officer King from the Sheriff's Department. Good morning. How you doing today?
Doing good. How you doing today, Jim?
I can hardly see you with all the fog, but I hear you pretty well.
Yes, sir. It's a little thick out this morning.
What's on the report?
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Department responded to 196 calls for service. There were 11 arrests processed in the jail, and the jail currently has 168 people incarcerated. On our incident reports, Gabrielle Dewberry from Weatherstone Drive in Forest City reported a felony larceny. And a Thomas McGinnis from Harris Henrietta Road in Forest City reported a larceny of a motor vehicle. That's all for the incident reports. On our arrest reports, Franklin Sams from Cobra Drive in Forest City was arrested and charged with possession with intent to sell or deliver marijuana, simple possession of a Schedule III controlled substance, possession of marijuana paraphernalia, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And he received a $5,000 unsecured bond. Amanda Mann from Old Ballpark Road in Spindale was arrested and charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, simple possession of a Schedule III controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and she received a $5,000 secured bond. Stephen Ford from Shiloh Road was served with a warrant for domestic violence protection order violation, received a domestic violence hold. James Morrow from Owen Street in Ellenboro was served with 2 counts of failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $1,000 secured bond. Maggie Taylor from Pine Hill Drive in Rutherfordton was served with a warrant for simple assault, received a written promise to appear in court. Douglas Montgomery from Sandy Hill Drive in Forest City was served with 2 true bills of indictment, received a $10,000 secured bond. Megan Acey from J.M. Lovelace Road in Ellenboro was served with failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 unsecured bond. Stephen Edwards from Oak Ridge Drive in Forest City was served with a warrant for assault on a female, received a domestic violence hold. And Alona Curtis from Hillcrest Drive in Forest City was served with a warrant for larceny from a motor vehicle, received a $10,000 secured bond. That's all we have for today.
Officer King, I appreciate you. Thank you for being with us, and you be safe out there today.
Thank you, Jim. You have a good one.
See you now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Cheryl, have you been to the Homeworks Design Center inside Henson Building Materials in Forest City?
Oh, yes. Shana, David, and William are incredible at designing kitchen and bath cabinetry for my new she shed.
Your what?
And they have a full line of windows and doors on display in their 5,000 square foot showroom. And they'll install any ones you pick out for me.
Oh, you're too good to me.
I know. With selling and installing, it's basically one-stop shopping.
Henson Building Materials, 177 Duke Street, Forest City.
Building starts here.
And Melissa has a report from the Communications Center. Melissa, good morning.
Good morning.
What's on the report today?
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County 911 Communications has processed a total of 459 911 and administrative calls. These consisted of 42 for emergency medical services, 196 for the Sheriff's Office, 59 for Forest City, 25 for Rutherfordton, 11 for Lake Lure, and 29 for Spindale. And under the fire calls, the Spindale Fire Department responded to a motor vehicle accident. And that's all.
Thanks so much. You have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Now, Ruby Taylor can tell us about the SDO Fire District. Good morning, Ruby.
Good morning.
What's on that report?
They didn't have any calls. And on my birthday calendar, I got Mike Webb and Vivian Fulton having birthdays, and hope they have a nice day. And the signs are in the arms today and going to the breast tomorrow. And that's all I got, Jim.
You have a wonderful day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. Pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
Let's say good morning to Chris Melton now over at the Fire District over at Chimney Rock, Lake Lure, and looking at things for us in the Wills Creek community. Chris, how you doing this morning?
Good, Jim. How are you?
Doing good. Is it foggy up your way?
It was this morning when I come in, but it's kind of burned off a little bit.
Well, it's still pretty thick down this way, so we'll send folks up your way to drive on the road because you can see better up there, I guess.
Absolutely. Send them on.
What's going on up there?
Oh, we're doing good today. It's like when we started off the morning yesterday with going to that structure fire. Then they had cut a tree out of the road, and that was pretty much all of their day. And Chimney Rock, Fairfield, and Bills Creek was real good yesterday as well. So no major incidents to report on that I know of on them.
Yeah. It's nice to have those quiet mornings, isn't it?
Oh yeah, We try not to use the Q word a lot, but we definitely appreciate them.
Yeah. Well, Chris, I appreciate you being on with us, and you be safe up there, and we'll check in with you tomorrow.
Thank you much. Have a good day.
Thanks, Chris. Bye-bye. Chris Meldon reporting in this morning from Chimney Rock Fire District. It's 7:30. Nobody gets a better deal than the customers at Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record of the best deals. Sisk Family Ford, Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealer, has recently been recognized as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. That speaks well of their commitment to serve their customers well. Rutherford County's only locally owned new car dealership. That's Sisk Family Ford, Oak Street, Forest City. Devon Upton, what's up with Bostic this morning?
Well, over here in Bostic this morning, we got a temperature of 51 degrees, foggy. It's the last day of January. Fire department had no calls. Don't forget to stop in and to drop in here on Bostic Sunshine Highway. Check their meat department out and their deli, and they have lots of stuff in there you might want to look around. And our Blessed Box is located at Depot Street here in Bostic. Go by and leave a blessing or get a blessing, and hope everyone has a wonderful day.
DeVern, thank you, and you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next month.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance, helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Robbie Samuel, how are things with you this morning?
Oh, it's doing good. How about you, Jim?
Pretty good, best I can see, which is not very far right now.
I'm going to say, I can't see you on this side of the fog anyway.
I know it.
It's a little thick, isn't it? But anyway, Jim, with the fire department, Hubbo was quiet through the night and yesterday, and Roveton, we responded to a few medical calls, and so hopefully everybody can get out and drive safely this morning and slow down and expect the worst around the curve, because you never know what might be around the curve when you come around it.
That's
whether
exactly
it be a tree
right.
or somebody standing there. So.
You're a big old deer standing in the highway.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, them things they can be very dangerous, can't they? But
they sure
other
can.
than that, Jim, that's all I got going on this morning. I hope everything goes well with you today, and everybody take care of themselves.
All right, Robbie, thank you very much, and you be safe out there, and thanks for being with us.
Absolutely. You take care.
All right, bye-bye. Robbie Samuel reporting from Rutherford Fire District, also looking after Hudlow for us. It's 7:33, and we have 48 degrees on our thermometer and thick fog out there.
Santa-size your shopping this holiday season with a gift from Bark Mobile. Right now, gift yourself a new device and Bark Mobile will gift you back. Get 100% of the cost of your device back in monthly credits on select devices. For extra Yule in your pocket, Santa-size your service with unlimited data. Text all your friends and family or stream your holiday favorites. Just $35 per month per line for 2 lines with autopay. It's Santa-sized deals right from the North Pole to North Carolina. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
When you'd like to support local merchants and still have an opportunity to buy some of the finest food around, then you'll want to go to Drop-In Family Grocery there in Boston, because they have a meat market back there. Fresh cut meat. They'll do your steaks, pork chops, roast. Your favorite, my favorite, filet mignon. They'll cut that any way you want. The fresh meat market's not available all places, locally owned stores. And we like the fact that we can support local economies with local stores like the Drop-In Family Mart at Boston. It's a large store, and they got plenty of opportunity for you to buy your groceries there. If you need help, they can even carry your groceries to the car for you. Personal service like nobody else offers. Be appreciative of it. At Shop Drop-In Family Mart there in Boston. Cherry Mountain Highway, Sunshine Boston Highway, and you'll find them right across from the post office. Go to Caddy Corner there from the post office. All right, Sue Price, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Jim. I'm doing good. Hope you are.
Yes, indeed.
Well, good. It's a little bit foggy over here.
I think it's pretty widespread.
Yeah. Better be careful out on the road. It's might run into it if you're not in it now, so take it easy. We don't want any wrecks. Well, let's see. I didn't have any calls from the fire department. I don't have a single birthday or anniversary on either one of my calendars today. But we hope anybody that's celebrating a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And I don't have any announcements, so it's just quiet and calm over here looking for a good day, and I hope you'll have one, Jim.
Thanks. So you have a good one, too, and I'll see you next month.
All right. Bye-bye.
One good thing about local radio and local call around the county, this report's been doing, we've been doing this, the station started about 56 years ago, Charles Weldon, started calling around the county. And I don't know any other radio station anywhere that I talk to does this kind of thing. They don't do it. They don't have they just don't do it. And we can keep in touch with the county and let you know what's happening out there. And that's why the strength of this has been good over the years. All these, of course, I've been doing about 36 of those. But we appreciate your faithfulness, too, and your loyalty to the Call Around News Report. And the new owners tell me they're going to keep it up. They're going to keep up doing the same kind of thing called around the county. They may spruce it up a little bit, but we'll see what takes place in just a matter of a few weeks. All right, let's head over toward Shingle Holler, North Carolina. Tina White, good morning.
Welcome to Shingle Holler this morning. It is 43. Go ahead.
I say, how are things over there?
Foggy, thick. So be careful if you're riding around in Shingle Hollow this morning, because I can hardly see Glenda's house across the street. Watch out for those school buses, and parents are driving their kids to school. So just be careful up here. Hopefully it'll clear in just a little while. It's a cool morning, 43 degrees, and we have birthdays to celebrate today. Waylon Searcy, Tommy Millwood, Barbara Simpson, and Miss Catherine Pritchard. I bet she's listening this morning. She turns 9 years old today, so happy birthday, Catherine. And happy birthday to the others as well. Hope y'all all have a wonderful day. For announcements, I know that over at the fire department this morning around 9:30, the senior citizens, they gather and they sing and just have good fellowship. Sometimes they'll have a little meal. So if you're interested in going on over to the fire department around 9:30 this morning for their senior citizen meeting, you are very welcome to do that.
And which fire department is that?
At Shingle Hollow Fire Department.
Okay, good deal.
And Pinnacle Elementary School is having a Valentine's dance on February 10th, which will be next Friday from 5 to 7 p.m. And they are saying that they're having, look, if you want to come out and have dinner in the cafeteria, just come on out from 5 to 7. And so if we've got parents or grandparents or aunts and uncles that would like to join their children, because the children have to be accompanied by an adult. So right here in this community at Pinnacle Elementary School, it's a little fundraiser with a family Valentine's dance. It's from 5 to 7, and everyone's welcome to help to join in on that. And that's all I have today.
All right, Tito, thank you very much. You keep up the good work, and I will check back in with you next month.
I forgot it's next month. I'll see you next month. God bless you. Everyone stay safe out there.
So long now. Bye-bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Must be Brenda Kelly time from Union Mills, North Carolina. It's 7:39. Good morning, Brenda Kelly.
Good morning, Jim Bishop. It's Brenda Kelly time.
Brenda Kelly time. It's Brenda Kelly time.
Oh, my goodness.
Did you ever watch Howdy Doody on TV when you were little?
Yes, I can remember that. He had a lot of freckles, didn't he?
He did, yes.
Yeah.
Had a lot of strings attached.
Yeah, he did. But we enjoyed it, didn't we?
You know, they don't. I don't know why they don't do those kind of puppets anymore. Anyway, I thought they was kind of cute to have dangling around like that.
Yeah.
But now everything's got to be modernized.
Oh yeah. Everything's different now, but I'm glad I grew up during that time because I always enjoyed Howdy Doody.
I did too. Buffalo Bob and.
Yeah, it's something else. We don't have a lot of good entertainment anymore like that. It's
well, you know,
different stuff.
They got to zoom into outer space, or they got to blow up a cannon somewhere, or
and this
fight warriors.
Yeah, what's this movie? It's real popular right now. Something other one of water, something other. Oh, I can't think.
You got
of
me.
It. I've seen it advertised. It's it's at the top of the thing. I can't think what it is. But anyway, I don't like that because the characters look like aliens from outer space to me.
Yeah, they make a lot of those movies with weirdo looking people. They coming up out of the lagoon somewhere.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like stuff like that. No.
I like movies like Lassie Come Home and
Oh yeah.
My Friend Flicker.
And Where the Red Ferns Grow.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That was a good one. Yeah. Let's see, I've got 56 degrees on the front porch this morning. I don't have any birthdays, any anniversaries. I don't have but one birthday, and that's Kayla Pritchard. So, Kayla, I hope you have a great old big day on your special day. So, I guess you better take it slow down to Ellenburg because it's foggy and see if Luther Sweet Thing's doing okay.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay,
next month.
catch you later.
Bye-bye. And we'll make our next stop at Ellenboro. Up on board.
You made a list, checked it twice, and now it's time to shop. Get a great deal for everyone on your list at Carolina West Wireless. Enjoy a sleigh full of savings for the whole family with unlimited data for just $25 per month per line for 4 lines with autopay. Plus, get up to $1,000 in savings when you bring your own devices. How's that for a stocking stuffer? Get everything you need for everyone on your list, all for a great deal, only from Carolina West Wireless. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit www.carolinawest.com/terms and conditions. Offer expires January 9th, 2023.
Luther Gilligan, good morning.
Good morning, you two. It's a nice day down here.
What's nice about it?
I'm up and going.
That's a nice thing.
I got my boots on to stand up. That's the beginning of a great day. It's rather foggy down here, though, but not too bad. Well, it's not too good either. But everything's quiet down here this morning. Not a whole lot going on. Everybody just stopping by, getting their biscuits and heading on out to work. The fire department, they only had one medical call yesterday. Other than that, they're quiet this morning. There's nothing else going on down here, so you have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, Tom. Luther.
All right, take care.
What I called you, Tom. Luther Gilligan, you have a wonderful day over there.
I'm going to have a great day. I hope you do too.
See you. All right, bye-bye. 7:43, it's time for birthdays and anniversaries as we roll in up to about 7:45. Birthdays and anniversaries can be called in at 287-3356. 287-3356. Birthdays, anniversaries for the 31st day of January. Just barely into February. January 31st birthdays. Lou standing by to take those calls.
Does your financial advisor take the time to really listen to you? Is your financial strategy personalized for you and your family? Will your financial advisor be there as your life and financial situation change? Hi, I'm Andrew Tisdale, your local Edward Jones financial advisor. When we work together, we focus what's important to you. We create a personalized strategy backed by our advice, our tools, and resources to help you reach your goals. And we partner together to help your strategy stay on track no matter what happens. Contact me at any time at 828-287-9197. We'll sit down, talk, and we're going to make a strategy that's right for you.
And Andrew will be in this morning at 8 o'clock to talk about some things. Got a special announcement to make this morning as well, so hang around and be sure to stay tuned for Andrew Tisdale. Right now, let me remind you that you can go to Granny B's for a good meal today. If you get hungry before lunchtime, go by and have a donut, one of those delicious daylight donuts, and a cup of coffee. They do fresh coffee there. It's really good. So why don't you just do that and make yourself happy, and maybe take a sub back to work with you and make somebody else happy. It's always good. Granny B's there in Spindale, right up the street a little ways from Lakeside Mills and right next to the Shake Shop. Good lunch all the time. Now hit it, guys.
Happy birthday.
No birthdays called into us this morning, so we won't celebrate anybody's birthday or anniversary. Nobody called those in the last day of January, but we'll try again on February the 1st to see who is celebrating. Now stand by for Keys to Confident Living, and we'll take you down memory lane with some classic oldies, and top of the hour, Andrew Tisdale in right here in the Blue Room Live.
WCAB.
From ABC News, I'm Derek Dennis. More firings, others relieved of duty in the Tyree Nichols beating death. That's on top of the 5 Memphis police officers who were initially fired and charged.
The 5 former officers, all black, seen in the disturbing video repeatedly beating and kicking Nichols, giving Nichols more than 70 commands in 13 minutes. As the family prepares to lay the young father, an avid skateboarder, to rest Wednesday,
I guess Ty had to be sacrificed in order for the greater good.
His mother hoping her son's death will bring about change in the police system.
ABC's Stephanie Ramos. The Federal Reserve is set to kick off its 2-day policy meeting today and approve another hike in interest rates to curb historic inflation. Analysts predict a 0.25% hike, the 8th increase in a row. Meantime, President Biden is set to meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tomorrow to negotiate raising the debt ceiling. The president already putting McCarthy on notice.
Show me your budget, I'll show you mine.
The president insists Congress has to raise the debt ceiling to keep the U.S. from defaulting on its bills. Cold, ice, and snow in the forecast for tens of millions of Americans in 30 states as brutal weather sets in.
The next 48 hours is going to be critical to see how much goes up to an inch on power lines and trees that can take those down. And then it's super cold. And we're talking about 18 below North Platte, the feels like. Des Moines, Tuesday morning, 8 below for Des Moines. In Chicago, 7 below.
That's ABC's chief meteorologist, Ginger Z. A Chicago prosecutor is dropping sex abuse charges against singer R. Kelly, citing his federal convictions that already have him in prison into his 80s.
We have a significant number of cases and survivors who are equally in need of the resources that have been expended for Mr. Kelly's cases.
That's Cook County State's Attorney Kim Fox. Juries in Chicago and New York convicting Kelly of child pornography, enticement, and others charges. You're listening to ABC News.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
Charges.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Remember the last time your family visited the forest? It's a place of wonder and imagination for the whole family, where stories come to life. And it's closer than you think. Ready to plan your next visit? Make the forest part of your story today at a local park near you, or find one at discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the United States Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Prosecutors in New Mexico are expected to formally file involuntary manslaughter charges today in connection with the deadly shooting on the set of the movie Rust. They've already announced their intentions to charge actor Alec Baldwin, who was holding the gun, and the movie's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez Reed. The White House now saying the official declaration of a national emergency around COVID will end on May 11th. But ABC Cheyenne Hazlitt says it could mean some changes for you.
You probably will still get COVID vaccines for free, and that's connected to whether or not you have insurance. But as for free tests and treatments, that is no longer a guarantee, even with insurance. But vaccines are going to continue to be covered.
Brazil's former leader who lost his re-election bid now says he wants to stay in the U.S. for a while.
Former Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro has applied for a 6-month tourism visa here in the U.S. According to his attorney, Bolsonaro has been living in Orlando, Florida, and the tourism visa would allow him to stay in the country now that his official visa as head of state is no longer valid. This as protests continue in Brazil, with some claiming the election was stolen from Bolsonaro with no evidence to back it up. Bolsonaro posted a video in front of his Orlando home over the weekend defending his presidency, adding that he never did anything against the Constitution. Lionel Moise, ABC News.
This is ABC News.
Never completely ready to adopt a teen.
For late nights writing English papers.
For your teen's music taste.
For dinners, where they talk more on their phone than with you.
For the first time, they call you mom.
You're never completely ready to adopt a teen, and you can't imagine the reward.
To learn more about adopting a teen, visit adoptuskids.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
I'm Derek Dennis, ABC.
Dense fog will gradually clear out, and we are going to see a lot of cloud cover for today. Areas, especially to the north, will have to watch for a few scattered light showers throughout the afternoon. We do have a better chance of seeing rain overnight into Wednesday morning, with high temperatures turning cooler. We will reach the mid-50s and mid-60s today, with tomorrow highs in the low to mid-40s and mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We should be climbing up to about 59 today for a daytime high, and right now we're 49. We've bumped up one from 48 to 49 and up to 59, so we got 10 more to go. And then tonight dropping back to around 46, about where we are right now, with some rain developing this afternoon or tonight. Rain's effective again Wednesday, Thursday, and Thursday night, but clearing out here maybe by the weekend. Again, right now 49, and it's thick fog out there in some sections. Please be aware of that. If you're just waking up, getting out, and starting on the road somewhere, be sure to know that there's fog out there, so please allow yourself a little extra time. Andrew Tisdale is in the Blue Room with me, and we'll talk to him in just a moment.
You already know Tri-City Tire Service is your complete and professional auto service, offering services in brakes, alignments, tune-ups, oil changes, inspections, lift kits, and of course a complete tire service. But did you know they also have tires for commercial, farm tractors, ATVs, and they also carry mowers, power equipment by Red Max. Tri-City Tire Service is located at 221 Daniel Road in Forest City. Give them a call at 828-287-8778. Tri-City Tire Service, your local tire and auto service center.
The Thomas Jefferson Classical Academy Enrollment Lottery is now open for families desiring to be a part of the U.S. News and World Report's top-ranked charter school in all of Western North Carolina. As a tuition-free public charter school, TJCA is accepting applications for all grades K through 12. Interested kindergarten students and their families are invited to attend the TJCA Kinder Fair event on February 10th from 4:30 until 6:30 at the Grammar Campus, 1110 South Broadway Street in Forest City. Please visit us online at tjca.org to learn more and schedule a tour of our schools. Don't delay. Apply today at tjca.org for your chance to be part of the TJCA Griffon family. It's 8:07 here on this Tuesday morning, and Tuesday morning for a long time now has been Andrew Tisdale morning, and there's no reason to stop it right now because it's foggy. We can see right through the fog and see Andrew's big smiley face here this morning. Good morning. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I cut right through it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I can't stop cutting here. Not in the Blue Room.
No, absolutely not. Got to get to the Blue Room.
It is.
It's been an interesting morning. I think about the whole county, except he told me up in around Lake Lewis, pretty well burning off up there. All over the county, I think it's pretty thick this morning.
It was thick. You almost kind of looked out there and expected to get drenched in wetness as rain, but it's just be careful. Be careful.
Well, you've been with us a lot of Tuesday mornings, and we've talked with you about your the opportunities that people have doing business with you, and you got some big announcements to make today, and I wanted to give you the opportunity to do that this morning. So what's new?
Well, I'm really excited. I have actually now officially joined Ameriprise. I'm not leaving the county, not going anywhere, but I'm just switching the name of who I work with. All of my business is now with Ameriprise. How that works is actually Ameriprise is my client. Where I was an employee. Now I am an owner, and Ameriprise has agreed to hold my clients' funds. The reason I've made that choice with Ameriprise is because of their standing. They've been around since the 1800s. They're a solid organization. It gives me the security of knowing that as a fiduciary, somebody that's responsible for giving people good financial advice and wisdom, that they are there and they can hold that and not be in any shape or form that would cause any insecurity for something. In other words, I'm not taking it and putting it in a vault somewhere. Ameriprise has gotten over $1.4 trillion in management assets. So I have actually bought into their program as a franchise owner. I'm going to be operating under the name Freedom Point Wealth. There's 5 different types of wealth. Yes, everybody thinks about it as money, but there's also wealth of time, wealth of family, wealth of friends, and wealth of love. wealth management encompasses all of this. And being able to become more of a wealth manager has been something that I got into the business to be. I love being able to help people find investments that's going to help their money grow or give them income and things like that. But now I'm going to have the availability to also offer tax planning, partnering with a CPA that's going to be working with me. It will be announced very shortly. Doing tax preparation, not just planning, but preparation, and negotiations also with a real estate / estate attorney. So if someone comes in and looks at wants me to look at the whole picture, now I have more resources available, and I can give more solid overall wealth management advice, whether it's to create it, to sustain it, or to pass it on, whether it's to live off of it. It's all encompassed in that one office there.
I think over the years people have gained the confidence in you to know that if they come to you with a certain amount of extra amount of dollars, say, I want you to do something with this where it's going to earn me the most money, I think they've come to you because they have confidence in your ability to lead them in the right direction. Not the company whose name's on the door, but Andrew Tisdale. And I don't think that's going to change.
No, I think hopefully this is my hope, and my goal is to build more trust. To build more trust for the idea of, when I'm saying that, it's looking at it from the standpoint of not just today, but 5 years, 10 years, 20, 30 years down the road, not just for yourself, but for your generation afterwards, for whatever it is that you have goals in. Ameriprise has been very, very strong. They have people across the nation too that's doing the same thing that's already been doing what I've been doing, that I'm starting to do now. And the good news is it's not going to cost any more than that's already being placed. And then my heart is excited. My heart's just bumping every morning. Getting up ready to go, seeing what the day's going to bring. And although my office is still under repair, I am in a temporary office on Oak Street Extension in Forest City, Suite 105. It's 247 Oak Street Extension, Suite 105. And been in there for a couple of days and plan on being there for a little while as everything gets settled in. But I've got a great team now. I had a good team, got now a great team. And that team is going to be working together, so you're not just having one set of eyes, you're having 4 sets of eyes, 5 sets of eyes that are looking at it. And I had a question from someone yesterday. He said, okay, does that mean they're going to know who I am? Case 1. Case 2. And it's going to be able to say, here, you got a CPA that's willing to put their name on the line, a fiduciary is willing to put their name on the line, a state, put their name on the line on the advice they give you, and saying, we take responsibility for what we're telling you.
I think some folks would want to know, Andrew, what about the money that we've invested over the years with you under the other name that you were representing? What does that do to that money? Is it going with them, or is it staying with you?
Well, that's their choice. My hope is that those who want to come with me will come with me. It's just a process of a couple of signatures and some paperwork. But everybody has their right, and they can stay where they're at. They can go somewhere else. None of this decision has been out of spite or anything of where I was at. I mean, I was so happy and blessed to be started where I was at, and the training was immaculate. And but sometimes it's just time to blossom a little farther and get a little more, and that's what I want to do for those clients that choose to come, or anybody else that now says, I'm more interested in doing business with you now. I want to give you more and show you the intricacies of wealth management.
So what I'm hearing you say, that there'll be more opportunities for our money to work for us that you have now obtained. You'll be able to see further and deeper and help us even better.
I will. It's this is a very, very busy time in the financial world because of tax season and things coming up. think there's some really good CPAs in this county, and I think they do very well. A lot of times I had to be a little reserved on what I say, talk to them about things like that. But now, as a CPA on board, I can really say, this is what we believe you should say, and this is what we're going to put in writing. This is what we're going to put in documentation that we did and what you did, and this is going to help you in this taxable situation to bring it down. You know, we could say some elementary things where I was at, but now it goes a little deeper, a lot more deeper. It's going to be, so it comes back to the realization, you know, it's not necessarily how much I have in that account, it's how much I can put in my pocket when I need it. And being able to utilize the resources that we've been blessed with is going to give people more opportunities to, whether it's to live off of or to pass on or to spend and go on trips or whatever it is they want to do. Utilize it to the best of their knowledge and let us provide you with even more deeper knowledge.
It's a matter of signing a few pieces of paper to transfer. There's not a whole lot of documentation to say I want to move my money from where it is right now over to your new company. No major legal thing can have to be done, right? No, because we all have a right. We all have a right. I mean, you know, there's no, when they make that choice and they let me know, it's about a two-step process. You know, get some information that, you know, that like opening an account at a bank or opening an account at another place. It's just that way, and then just sign here, and then we sit down and get it to work. So like if the money was invested in Company A, for instance, and we switch over and sign and say, well, I want to go with you, Andrew. Can he still stay in Company A? Absolutely. That's another reason that there's a lot of other companies that I had interviewed over the past 2 years. Not, I was kind of toying in my mind, and but over the past years, when I really started researching and looking and thinking about my next step, Ameriprise has nothing they say you have to do. We're just going to hold it. We're going to hold it for you, and we trust that you are going to provide the best on that. And my conservative, but I love dividends. I love things that are going to give me some sort of return, no matter what, because I know, I want to live off the fruit of my labor, dividends, return, things like that. And, yes, they offer some other things, but I got more tools to be able to say if we go this route, and, but yeah, Company A can move just in kind, everything. Just move right in kind. I know you're not the kind of person that throws stones and talk negative about people, but as I understand it, what I know very little about it, but I understand the company you've been with has gone woke on us. And I know your character, my character is, we don't like to be affiliated with wokeness. Could you elaborate on that, or you feel uncomfortable with that? I love being independent, and I love being independent and being able to take and know that being independent, that I can decide and I can choose and I can hold firm to things that I have in my heart. I have no problems, no reservations or anything about anybody, no matter what they choose, no matter how they live. I just don't want to be. I love people. I love people. Jesus loved me so much. But when I found Christ, I wanted to be more like Christ. And Jesus loves everybody. But Jesus is not going to take on lifestyles that interferes in his character. Jesus is real, and Jesus has been real, and Jesus is going to stay real, and he's coming back. I mean, all that good stuff. And he loves everybody, no matter if I've done this before, if I'm in this doing this or I'm doing that. I promise that's not the issue. But the more and more I grow and see in him, the more and more I want to be like him.
because he is the epitome of what we should be and who we are. And that lifestyle of him is the best lifestyle out there. And love everybody, but stay true to your values.
Well said. Well, listen, I know we're running out of time, but with that said, and people know now that it's no longer going to be the company that you were representing before, it's a different name. How can they get in touch with you?
Right now?
Yes.
828-429-7539.
7539?
7539. That is my personal cell phone number. Call it.
828-429-7539. If you have any questions about what's taking place, how they transfer over to you, or they just run into a hunk of money and they want to do some investing for the first time ever.
828-429-7539. We are at 247 Oak Street Extension in Forest City, Suite 105. That means basically you pull in the parking lot, we're the first one on the right. You know, right there in the Rockwood Plaza where Lifestyles and everything is at. A lot of people know where Lifestyles at, the gym. And I love the idea that I have the freedom to create more for people and do it in a way that they don't pay any more than they already are.
Andrew Tisdale, pleasure to have you back in with us. We'll look forward to watch this happen over the next few weeks and months, and I know folks are going to be excited to be a part of that with you, because they have confidence in you and what you can do and help them make the right decision on their hard-earned dollars. They've hard-earned over the years. They want to make it grow for them now, and I know you can do that.
My pleasure. I'll see you next Tuesday.
I'll see you next Tuesday. The Sheriff's Report coming up here in just a moment. We're all about saving every dime these days, aren't we? Stretching dollars is everything in today's households. Stop giving the big box stores all your hard-earned money. Stop at Jay's Discount Grocery on Oak Street in Forest City. Jay's has thousands of merchandise at incredible low prices. Fresh produce every week, your choice of top-quality meats, canned food, frozen favorites, ice cream, snack foods, cleaning products, dog food, and so much more. The big box stores only want your money. It's small-town folks like Rick that care about the little people, like you and me. Shop Jay's Discount Grocery Monday through Wednesday, 8 to 7, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 8 till 8. EBT card and debit cards are welcome. That's Jay's Discount Grocery, 671 Oak Street, Forest City. Officer King was with us earlier with the Sheriff's Report. We recorded it for broadcast at this time.
In the past 24 hours, the Sheriff's Department responded to 196 calls for service. There were 11 arrests processed in the jail, and the jail currently has 168 people incarcerated. On our incident reports, Gabrielle Dewberry from Weatherstone Drive in Forest City reported a felony larceny. A Thomas McGinnis from Harris Henrietta Road in Forest City reported a larceny of a motor vehicle. That's all for the incident reports. On our arrest reports, Franklin Sams from Cobra Drive in Forest City was arrested and charged with possession with intent to sell or deliver marijuana, simple possession of a Schedule III controlled substance, possession of marijuana paraphernalia, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And he received a $5,000 unsecured bond. Amanda Mann from Old Ballpark Road in Spindale was arrested and charged with possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, simple possession of a Schedule III controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia, and she received a $5,000 secured bond. Stephen Ford from Shiloh Road was served with a warrant for domestic violence protection order violation, received a domestic violence hold. James Morrow from Owen Street in Ellenboro was served with 2 counts of failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $1,000 secured bond. Maggie Taylor from Pine Hill Drive in Rutherford was served with a warrant for simple assault, received a written promise to appear in court. Douglas Montgomery from Sandy Hill Drive in Forest City was served with 2 true bills of indictment, received a $10,000 secured bond. Megan Acey from J.M. Lovelace Road in Ellenboro was served with failure to appear on misdemeanor, received a $500 unsecured bond. Stephen Edwards from Oak Ridge Drive in Forest City was served with a warrant for assault on a female, received a domestic violence hold. And Alona Curtis from Hillcrest Drive in Forest City was served with a warrant for larceny from a motor vehicle, received a $10,000 secured bond. That's all we have for today.
Win its 7th straight game, 67-62. Gardner drew a charge for the 5th foul on Syracuse big man Jesse Edwards with 1 minute left, and then converted the shot with 37 seconds remaining to put the Cavaliers up by 4. Virginia moved within 1 game of Clemson in the ACC standings. Purdue is this season's first unanimous #1 team in the AP men's college basketball poll. The Boilermakers have won 8 straight games since a 1-point loss to Rutgers on January 2nd. They were followed in the AP Top 25 by Tennessee, Houston, Alabama, and Arizona in the top 5. Number 11, Baylor, and number 17, Providence made the biggest jumps, each climbing 6 spots. Auburn had the biggest drop, falling 10 spots to number 25. Number 21, Indiana, and number 22, San Diego State rejoined the poll at the expense of Charleston and New Mexico. And South Carolina, Stanford, and LSU are the top teams in the latest women's AP Top 25 college basketball rankings. South Carolina is number 1 for the 32nd consecutive week. Only UConn and Louisiana Tech have had longer runs at number 1. Indiana and UConn round out the top 5. Ohio State lost all 3 of its games last week and dropped from number 2 to number 10. You're listening to NCN Sports.
Are you considering a backup generator for your home and tired of being told it'll be several months for delivery? Alternative Power has hundreds of units in stock and can have your generator installed in a matter of weeks, not months. A Generac automatic standby generator from Alternative Power guards your home against blackouts caused by weather of all types. Prepare your home now with a Generac automatic standby generator. Alternative Power, North Carolina's Generac experts. See more at alternativepower.com.
Join PBS North Carolina as we explore the world around us through stories that illuminate and moments that inspire. From PBS favorites like Masterpiece to local programs that celebrate our state and people. From educational resources for kids to emergency briefings that keep us secure. PBS North Carolina offers endless possibilities for discovery and wonder. Follow your curiosity at pbsnc.org.
The Philadelphia Eagles can win their 2nd Super Bowl in franchise history if they beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The Eagles will face their former coach in Andy Reid. The Eagles are the 4th team to reach 3 Super Bowls since 2004. They're also the 4th franchise to appear in multiple Super Bowls since 2017. Hurts and Kansas City's Patrick Mahomes will be the first black quarterbacks to face off in a Super Bowl. The Eagles are in their 4th Super Bowl in franchise history. And San Francisco 49ers quarterback Brock Purdy tore a ligament in his throwing elbow, putting his status for the start of next season into question. Purdy sustained the injury in the NFC title game. Tonight in the NBA, the Charlotte Hornets go to the Milwaukee Bucks. They'll tip off at 8 p.m. And in the National Hockey League, Los Angeles visits Carolina in Raleigh at 7. I'm Nate Saunders. You're listening to NCN Sports.
Dense fog will gradually clear out, and we are going to see a lot of cloud cover for today. Areas, especially to the north, will have to watch for a few scattered light showers throughout the afternoon. We do have a better chance of seeing rain overnight into Wednesday morning, with high temperatures turning cooler. We will reach the mid-50s and mid-60s today, with tomorrow highs in the low to mid-40s and mid-50s. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Currently 50 degrees and still foggy out there. We should be burning off that fog here pretty soon as it warms on up to about 59 for a daytime high with light wind and a 50-50 chance of some rain developing throughout the day today. We have some stories to cover with you this morning, some we mentioned earlier, but let me give you another rundown about the story with the man booby-trapped in his yard with 3 bums. Those living near Old Waggy Road in Forest City may have been awakened early Sunday morning after law enforcement officials detonated 3 explosive devices. The incident began on Saturday night when Forest City Police and deputies from the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office responded to 440 Old Waggy Road in reference to a man who was threatening suicide. When officers arrived on the scene, according to police, a gunshot came from the backyard of the residence. The suspect, Philip Bradley Holler, eventually dropped his weapon and was taken into custody. Officials said that during an interview, Holler revealed that he had set up several improvised explosive devices in his backyard. Based on that information, officers obtained a search warrant and requested assistance of the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation Explosive Ordnance Unit, as well as the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. After hours of searching the backyard of the residence, the SBI agents were able to locate and disassemble the devices. At approximately 3:30 a.m. Sunday morning, a controlled explosion of the materials took place. Forest City Police said in a release, "We apologize for the late-night detonation. However, in accordance with policies and procedures, we were forced to dispose of the explosive materials as soon as possible." Holler was charged with 1 count of possession of a weapon of mass destruction. Holler was having a mental health crisis and called law enforcement authorities himself. No one else was in the home at the time, police said. Officials say that throughout the course of the investigation, there was no danger to the public. Also, because of the controlled nature of the ordnance disposal, there is no additional danger to the public or the officers involved in the investigation. That story from the Daily Courier. Meanwhile, 1 person is dead after a head-on crash on US 221 in northern Cherokee County. The crash happened on US 221 near Studebaker Road, just north of Chesney, around 3:45 a.m., according to the South Carolina Highway Patrol. Troopers said a pickup truck and a tractor-trailer collided head-on. The driver of the pickup truck died at the scene, while the driver of the tractor-trailer was not hurt. The Cherokee County coroner identified the victim as Ricky Donald Jones. That story will be updated as the investigation continues. Now, locally, the Daily Courier is reporting that citizens will soon have another reason to visit the popular Kiwanis Park in Rutherfordton. Throughout April, a complete giant-size chess set, complete with all the pieces, will be on display at the park. This is a joint project of the town of Rutherfordton and Keep Rutherford County Beautiful. Officials say its aim is to provide a fun attraction, another reason to gather at the park, and also to raise funds for the Keep Rutherford County Beautiful program. Sponsorships are being sought to support the project, and as of Thursday, there are still 18 chess pieces that are available to be sponsored. 15 pawns, that's $100 each, 2 knights at $150 each, and 1 king at $250. Rutherfordton Community Development Director Magnolia Long says the chess pieces will be around 40 inches tall and will be hand-built entirely out of material that can be or has been recycled. Sponsors of each piece will be able to decorate their specific piece. Long and Reagan Johnson, who is on the staff at Norris Library, originally came up with the idea last fall. Plans for the project were finalized in November. The giant-sized chess set will be installed near the covered bridge at Kiwanis Park. Long said Thursday, "We really want this to be a gift to the community. It will be available for people to come see, take photos throughout April. We hope it will be a gathering space and also raise awareness about the importance of recycling and good work that Keep Rutherford County Beautiful does for Rutherfordton and all of Rutherford County." If you need more information on this, about the sponsorship of the project, email getanswers@artifacturing.com. 25 minutes before 9 o'clock. Well, an Old Testament story records an overwhelming infestation of frogs throughout Egypt. There was no place in Egypt where frogs were not present in large numbers. The plagues were sent in response to Pharaoh's attitude toward the Israelite people who lived in slavery under his rule. Well, when God ended the plague, there were piles of dead frogs all over Egypt. In the streets, bedrooms, bathrooms, closets, storage facilities, and places we can only imagine. It became a very stinky situation as they raked up the dead frogs and piled them all over Egypt. The classified document segment seems to be growing, or rather growing in similar fashion to the dead frogs of Egypt. They appear to be everywhere and they stink. The odor has to be particularly bad for President Donald Trump and Joe Biden, as well as Vice President Mike Pence. First came the big raid of Trump's home in Florida late at night. FBI agents went through his home and personal items and carried out boxes of documents. Next, we heard that Biden has had classified documents in his home for years. They seem to be scattered everywhere throughout his house, even in the garage next to his Corvette. Then Mike Pence in Indiana has more classified documents. What are these men doing with these documents? They're scattered out like dead frogs of Egypt. Again, what are these individuals doing with classified documents? I used to keep a big box of comic books when I was a kid. I would read a comic and then put it in the box. Sometimes I would read them again. I definitely knew that I had them. Why would past administrations hold on to classified documents? How do they get to the locations where they were found? The National Archives has asked all the former presidents to check for classified documents. Jimmy Carter? Where would he have had them? In his family Bible? Mixed in with old Sunday school lessons that he has taught at the local Baptist church? I don't think so, but you never know who might have picked them up, packed them in a box, and placed them on a shelf in his garage. What about George W. Bush? Could documents be under the seat of his old truck? Bill Clinton has emphatically stated he does not have any classified documents, but he has made emphatic statements before. These former presidents have said they do not have such documents. Did Trump carry these documents out of the White House when he and his family climbed aboard the presidential helicopter? I've never seen Trump or Biden carry anything, which aide picked up some boxes and tossed them into the moving van. Where's White House security when it comes to classified documents? Only time will tell, and we may never know for sure about the plethora of classified documents. We hope they aren't reading some of them in China or Russia. Who can say for sure where they are not being read? We do not know for sure whether or not someone else has them. Could another family member have a box or two somewhere? How much money would China, Russia, or others pay for classified documents? Democrats and Republicans will point fingers and scream about all of this in the next election. Both sides will try to make the other side look worse, but it appears there is plenty of stink around, like the dead frogs in Egypt. Dr. Glenn Mollett. Well, those of you who love Peeps, so many of you love Peeps. The candy Peeps, you find them a lot of times around Easter time, little marshmallow candies. Well, the father of Peeps marshmallow candies, Bob Bourne, has died at age 98. Ira Bob Bourne, a candy company executive known as the father of Peeps, for mechanizing the process to make marshmallow chicks. He's died. Just Bourne Quality Confections, the 100-year-old family-owned company, Bourne led for much of his life, said Monday that he has died peacefully on Sunday. Bourne began his life in New York City on September 29, 1924. His father, Sam Bourne, was a Russian immigrant who started Just Bourne shortly before his son's birth. The family later moved to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, where Just Bourne is still based. Bob Bourne graduated from Lehigh University with a degree in engineering physics. He enlisted in the U.S. Navy, served as a radar specialist and a lieutenant on a destroyer in the Pacific. Later, the Navy sent him to the University of Arizona and the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT, for graduate work in math and physics. Bourne applied to medical school and was accepted, and while he was waiting for his classes to begin, he went to work at Just Bourne. He fell in love with the candy business and decided to stay. The candy business was kind of catchy. It was interesting to him. Ross Bourne, Bob Bourne's son, told the Lehigh Valley News he enjoyed the science, the technology, the processing. He was very much into the equipment. So in 1953, Just Bourne acquired Rhoda Candy Company, a jelly bean maker that had a side business producing shaped marshmallow candies by hand. At the time, it took about 27 hours to make the marshmallows. Bob Bourne saw the candy's potential, so he and an engineer at the company designed and built a machine to make them in less than 6 minutes. The company's current machines, which are still based on Bob Bourne's design, now pumps out 5.5 million Peeps per day. 70 years later, Peeps remain Just Bourne's most recognizable candy brand. The company says, Just Born makes around 2 billion peeps each year, or enough to circle the globe 2.5 times. It sells the most at Easter, but also has versions sold for Halloween, Valentine's Day, and other holidays. Bob Bourne also came up with a recipe for another popular Just Born candy, hot tamales. Just Born also makes Mike and Ike fruit chews and Goldenberg's peanut chews. So when you have those peeps, you'll know the story behind the man who created and has just died. So think about him as you have your next peep. I can handle about 2 peeps. That's all I want. I love marshmallows, but the peeps are just a little bit too sugary for me. Maybe I'm sweet enough. I don't know. Maybe I'm not answering that question. It's 8:40. I'll be back in just a moment.
Mission Health Center Rutherford is now open in Forest City, a multi-specialty clinic with care for the whole family. From routine preventative care to the treatment of chronic conditions, our providers offer a personalized approach to meet your specific needs. Now accepting new patients. Call 828-659-5741 to make an appointment today. Mission Health Center Rutherford. Quality care close to home.
Hi, my name is Clark Poole with the Small Business Center. We help businesses grow and succeed. So if you're thinking about starting a business, developing a business plan, financing your business, marketing, or expanding your business, give us a call at 395-1667 and let's get together and share our ideas about making you successful and helping you grow.
It's 8:41, 49 degrees. Still foggy, maybe burning off where you are, but still a little foggy several places around. Well, according to the latest numbers, CNN is in dire trouble. The struggling cable news network had a particularly terrible week between January 16th through the 22nd, scoring embarrassingly low ratings that even set records, but not the kind of records the network wants to bear. The Wrap reported that Nielsen ratings clocked 444,000 viewers in CNN's primetime lineup during the week. Even worse, it landed only 93,000 viewers in the coveted 25 to 54 demographic. Total day numbers came in at 417,000 viewers and only 80,000 in the 25 to 54 demo. They're in trouble, folks. It was noted that it was the first time since May of 2014 that CNN could not crack the 450,000 viewer threshold. The Wrap also cited an inside source who revealed that CNN's future looks pretty dim. Upcoming programming changes likely to make matters worse, the insider reportedly said. That means the network's latest CEO, Chris Litch, isn't leading the comeback that many thought he would early on with all the programming changes made at the network in recent months. It's not as if people are turning away from cable news programming. That's easily proven by looking at Fox News, which continues to go scorched earth on every cable news network, hauling in massive numbers in every single category, including the 25-54 demographics. Fox News crushed the ratings in the same time period once again. The Powerhouse Network captured an impressive 2 million primetime viewers and 256,000 in the 25 to 54-year-old demo. If that happened only on occasionally, one night may be able to argue that CNN is simply having an off week. The issue is that CNN continues to be demolished in the ratings each week. Even its rival left-leaning network MSNBC manages to nearly double CNN's numbers. It's almost as if people have grown sick and tired of CNN's divisive narrative pushing or something. Imagine that. CNN has either lost or fired most of its former top-tier talent, and one of the few remaining A-listers for the network, Don Lemon, doesn't seem to be able to capture the viewers that CNN's brass had hoped for when they moved him to the morning lineup to helm CNN this morning. In the same January 16th through 22nd time period, Lemon's morning show was humiliated in the ratings, especially compared to rival morning program Fox and Friends. Lemon's morning program only drew 331,000 viewers, while Fox and Friends mustered nearly 1 million viewers. Morning and night, Americans clearly aren't interested in hearing the toxic narratives constantly pushed by Lemon and CNN in general. They got nasty attitudes, folks. They just nasty attitudes. Lemon and CNN brass also have another controversy brewing. It was reported recently by celebrity gossip site Radar Online that Lemon reportedly, according to one source, called co-host Caitlin Collins and Poppy Harlow backup dancers. They were reportedly not thrilled with the demeaning terminology. Don went into this thinking of himself as Beyonce and his co-hosts as his backup dancers. Between sinking ratings and what appears to be growing turmoil behind the curtains, it feels like CNN might be on its last leg, for it either crashes and burns or is scooped up by another entity. Their numbers are low, low, low. Well, whatever you hear, whatever it is that you may think of former President Donald Trump, you can't argue that the man didn't put faith and prayer at the forefront. In fact, despite their currently frayed relationship, former Vice President Mike Pence and Trump actually helped spearhead something of a spiritual renaissance during the heyday of the Trump administration. And when Trump visited a burger and ice cream spot called Zesto in West Columbia, South Carolina, Saturday, America was reminded of that. I saw a video of this. He was stepped up to the counter, and this lady behind the counter, you see, step up and ask, "Do you mind if I pray for you?" So he said, "Be happy for you too." So she stepped up, put her hand on his shoulder. He put his hand on her arm, and she said a prayer over right there in front of the hamburger stand. You see the awestruck employees and patrons clamoring while one brave employee asked if she could pray with him. Trump, unsurprisingly, acquiesced to the request, and the two of them shut a moment of prayer right in the middle of Zesto. WRCB also captured the video from a different angle, though this didn't appear to include the prayer, and made note that Trump ordered a chocolate-dipped cone. All jokes aside, this video is incredible for a variety of reasons. First, it showed that the power of prayer is alive and well in America in 2023, despite the leftists waging a never-ending unholy war against religion. Second, it was yet another glimpse into a side of Trump that people seldom see in public. This wasn't the anti-establishment, swamp-draining, fiery Trump that people typically see in a political setting.